Okay, let's have a look at some optional items. So Centrix has already put some inlet box shaft seals in here with code SHS. Now always remember that these codes are there for Centrix to group them into totals for when we look at the quote. Anyway, let's have a look at optional items. Now optional items enables us to add more parts that are special parts that aren't automatically calculated and included by Centrix. So we can add rows, delete rows, we can copy a special part from here to a database, and we can import and export to other files. So let's just first quickly add a row, and you see that the code here is 002, so that can apply to any item at all because it's user defined. Now this is worth reading carefully. 3-digit codes are used to group items together, so please select a code. So we've got lots of codes down here that can be used. Obviously if you use a code like inlet damper, so that's now inlet damper, and we put in some special part, I'll just put a proximity sensor for open and closed. Like that, I'll give it some value, might be 500. We'll give it some hours to fit it. We'll say 1 hour fiddling around with it. Now the consumables here, we can click this. You'll notice this yellow area here, by the way, as we change columns, we get a prompt telling us what to enter. So on consumables, double click to set, and if true, Centrix will add consumables to the price. So if there's nothing there, we haven't made any entry, and we apply. Let's apply. We haven't worried about putting any zeros here, so we just say apply, and that then gets added to areas and weights. Okay, so it was inlet damper, proximity sensor, there it is. Now when we go to the quote, let's do that now, we won't see that as a separate item because it's lumped together with the inlet damper. As you can see, it's not here. So let's close that. If I close this with the X rather than just saying back, it will delete any manual entries. Well, we haven't made any, so that doesn't matter. Let's say yes. So let's have a look at optional items again, and I'm now going to change that code to say IDP, which isn't one of these codes. So it's not a predefined code. And you notice that these items have been filled in automatically by Centrix. So now we can apply that, and we'll see that our proximity sensor, open close, is now IDP. And we don't, it's not been duplicated. So we can now go to the quote, and now we have a proximity sensor and the include text for it. So that makes sense. Okay, so that's adding optional items in this form. Now we can resize this as well if we want to. We can also copy things to a database and bring things in from a database. So let's show the database. We can resize these two if we want. They can overlap each other and so on. So let's say that we're looking for, I don't know, something. Let's pick something. Now, note that we can double click the plus consumables to be true or false here. So that matches up with our add part detail form. So we can double click and it changes to true look. Same as this. Double click true, double click false. Alright, let's add this item here. Oh, let's do a sort. So now we can now sort on these codes, columns. So double click, changes from ascending to descending on any of these columns here, apart from this one, because that confuses the yes and no features. You notice that the date is shown year first, year, month, day, and it should remain that way, otherwise it will not sort properly. So we can sort on any of these. Let's have a look what we've got. Let's put a VSD on here. Now I don't know off the top what sort of size we want, but let's highlight that one and now say select and use part. So we get a prompt here to make sure that we've chosen the right one. So it's code 950, code 950, which is all these codes here. So we'll say yes, and there it is, so come straight in. So now we can just say apply, and that will have appeared in our list. And there are no consumables, of course. All right.